channel. On today's video, I'm going to be tackling a problem that is pretty common on these 2 liters in the Wranglers. I don't know if it's specific to just the Wranglers or any Jeep product, but next to the turbo, there is a T-fitting in the coolant system, and with the heat cycles being close to the turbo, that has the tendency to weaken the plastic and then they break. Mine actually just broke. It had been kind of leaking around the seals. I've been watching it. Not a huge deal. Hadn't been seeing any puddles or anything under the Jeep, but I was working on with spark plug video, or my spark plug video, which hopefully you just watched, and I guess I disturbed it, looked at it wrong. I don't know what, but it snapped it completely off. So I did have the foresight to order one of these metal replacement parts. You can buy all new hoses. I think it's like $120-ish. Don't quote me on that. And this one was in like the 25-30 bucks range. I have seen online where somebody used this and they said they had to modify it to work. So here's the hoping that mine is a good cast and I don't have to do anything as far as any serious modifications. So I'm going to show you what the problem is, and then we're going to jump in and fix it. All right, everybody, so frame of reference here. This is your coolant tank. Right under here is the turbo, and then this rod is supposed to be connected to that fitting right there. As you can see, it is broken, which is no bueno. So I am going to try to replace this part, and hopefully it's an easy fix, and everything will go back together and put some fluid in, and we'll be all set. Okay, everyone, I want to show you a trick that I learned. So I've taken the hose clamp off of this, and when it broke, it didn't break off cleanly at the end of the hose. It was actually up in here a little bit. So I took a screw for construction that I had lying around in the garage, screw it into that plastic, and then pull, and get another bite in here. Cool, comes right out. All right, so there is a clip here that holds this to the metal part. So I just put a screwdriver in, it's gonna pop out. And hopefully that will release. Nope, couldn't be that lucky. Cool. All right, well, I'm gonna mess around with that and see if I can't get it off. Alrighty, so got this off here. Basically, it was like that, and I just wiggle back and forth. Biggest thing is, there's a lip here on the bottom piece. Make sure when you're prying, you're actually prying on the plastic of this and not that, because that's not gonna move. So, all right, I'm going to clean that up, and then we're gonna see if the new part fits or not. So here's the hoping. I'm going to take a little dielectric grease just because I got some here. Throw it on the O-ring inside. Hopefully make sure we get a good seal. If you had petroleum jelly, that would work too. Okay, now there are holes, or slots rather, on the device. So it won't turn. Okay. Not all the way. Get this out. All right, so I'm gonna play with that, see if I can get it on there. All right, everybody, so I've got the part that I needed to modified enough so that it will actually work. So if you look inside, there is there was a machining step on the inside, so I've got that smoothed off with my Dremel, and then there is, I guess, not all the way to the top, but the second one from the top, there was a step there, and it was too large to allow this to go over the pipe that it's designed to fit on. So got the Dremel in there and took some material off. Obviously, it's not the most perfect match at this point. However, there is a gasket and there's a spacer, a plastic spacer, and then there's an O-ring that goes in there as well. Excuse me. So that's going to take up a lot of the slack. So fingers crossed it doesn't leak. If it does, I'll let you know, and then we will see about modifying more or coming up with another option. So wasn't planning on doing this tonight. It just kind of happened because of working on the spark plugs. So sometimes you do what you have to do, and I mean, my wife made a very good point. Much rather something like this happen while I'm here in my garage with my tools versus on the side of the road. So I'm going to put this on. Hopefully everything goes together smoothly, and then be able to throw some fluid in it and test for leaks. All right, everybody, that is going to wrap up today's video. And with the new part for the coolant system, that T, like I said, did take some modification. Would be really nice if it just dropped in and worked. But that's sometimes what you have to do when you get third-party parts, is you have to modify them to make them work. So got the coolant in the system. If you guys haven't ever gotten one of these no spill funnels, 10 out of 10 recommend. It's on there. It's got a stopper. You just put that in there, pull it out. You lose a little bit of coolant, but you know, I've got coolant in here right now that I was using to bleed air out of the system, and I can then put it back in the jug and you'll be all set, and no mess. So, or a little mess, but had really good heat. When you burp the system, turn on the defroster. Excuse me. The 2 liter makes really good heat. It warms up pretty quick when you're driving. When I was just sitting here, the coolant system on this Jeep is really good insofar as I had to turn off the heater, normally have that on, to get it up to 190 degrees, and I still don't know if the thermostat opened or not. So I'm going to drive it tomorrow, then check the coolant level tomorrow night, Saturday, something like that. So yeah, wasn't planning on making this video, but glad I had the parts ready to go. I did replace the box for the, or the reservoir rather, for the coolant system on the JLs, because it's so close to the turbo, they can split at the seam. I did not have that. I don't know if, one, I got lucky, or two, if it's because of my vent modification, because all of that heat that normally sits here right next to the turbo had some place to escape. So I'm thinking I got lucky, one, but two, that might have prolonged the life of the reservoir, because when I removed this line off of it, it broke. So I was probably on borrowed time anyway, but I was planning to do this upgrade maybe closer to summer when it was a little bit nicer out. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do, get back on the road, and like I said, I'm glad I'm not doing this on the trail. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, maybe learned something. I will put links for the reservoir and for the part that I ordered. And again, if you get it, just understand you're going to have to modify it for it to work. But I put it on and no leaks. So it's doing what it's supposed to. Put the cover back on, and like I said, we'll check out stuff in a day or so just to make sure we're not leaking. So now I got the fun task of cleaning up the antifreeze that I did dump on the garage floor, and I'm going to go to bed. So as always, like, comment, subscribe. Really helps the channel grow. Still looking to get to 1,000. I'm not going to make it by the end of the year unless this video really goes off, but I doubt it. But yeah, sometime probably 2026, we're going to hit that goal, and it's going to be off to the races. So as always, appreciate you all. Happy holidays, and we'll see you on the next adventure.